Okay, sometimes it's easier to answer the question of not doing something. So the question over here is that what's the probability of throwing at least five? At least five, you'd have to throw, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And again, this is, they're two dice, just like the prior problem. And not throwing it means you would hit 2, 3, and 4. I actually prefer the not throwing version of the story. And now it's going to be 1 minus the not throwing. Now, how many chances are there? There's 6 times 6, which is 36. And, let's just enumerate these again. To get a 2, there's only one way to do that. To get 3, let's put that down. Could be 1 and 2, or 2 and 2, or 2 and 1, I mean. And that's two ways of doing that. And to get 3, not 3. To get 4, it could be 2 and 2. It could be 1 and 3, or it could be 3 and 1. And there's 3 ways of doing that. And this is probably the easiest way to compute the probability. What's it going to be? Well, let me write it down for you. It's 1 minus, it's easy computation. That's going to be 6 over 36, or 1/6. And 1 minus 1/6 is 5/6. All right? Easy computation. However, if you want to do it the other way, enumerating the other possibilities, I'll go through that with you. Let me erase this over here. We're done with this conversation. That's what I prefer. But if you prefer the other one, let's go through that, which is answering their question directly. And let's write that down. It's more difficult to enumerate, though. There's still 2 dice, 6 for the first, 6 for the second, 36 outcomes. And to get a 5, how many ways are there to get a 5? Well, let me put the dice down. It could be 1 and 4, 4 and 1. I'll just say 2 of this one. What else could I do? 2 and 3. And there's 2 of those. So let me write these down. 2, 2. Is there any other way to get a 5? No. So there's going to be 4. Let's talk about getting 6 now. How could you get a 6? Well, it could be 1 and 5. And there's 2 ways to do that. All right. What else could you do? Again, we're trying to get 6. 2 and 4. There's 2 ways of doing that. What else could I do? I could do 3 and 3. There's only one way of doing that. So 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is going to be getting a 7 now. How could you get a 7? Well, it could be 1 and 6, or it could be 6 and 1. There's 2 ways of doing that. It could be 2 and 5. There's 2 ways of doing that. Could be 3 and 4. There's 2 ways of doing that. And that's it. That's 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. We're just counting the ways. We're going to go on to 8. How could you get an 8? Let's see. You couldn't get a 1 because the biggest number you get is 6. 1 and 6 is 7. But you could start with a 2, right? And then a 6. There's 2 ways of doing that. You could do 3, and you could do the 5. And there's 2 ways of doing that. And then what you could do 4 and 4. And there's only one way of doing that. So 1, 2, and 2 would be 5. You're going to start to see symmetry. Let me get rid of this. Let's see. We just did 8. Now we're going to do 9, right? How could you get a 9? You couldn't do it with a 1. Well, let's start with the 6 first. You would need 6 and 3, right? There's 2 ways of doing that. Let's do the 5 and a 4. There's 2 ways of doing that. 5, 4, or 4, 4, 5. There's only 4 ways now. I'll write that down. Okay, now we're going to see if we can get a 10. Well, let's see, 6 and 4. I'll write the numbers down now, 6 and 4. Or it could be 4 and 6. Could be 5 and 5 too, right? How many ways is that going to happen? This is 1, 2 different ways, 3 ways. All right, let's keep going. Let's see how to get 11. Well, it'd be 6 and 5, right? Or 5 and 6. There's 2 ways to do that. Wow, it's going to be tough jamming that in there, isn't there? Let me go to the next one. We just did 11. Let's do 12. There's only one way to get 12. That would be a 6 and a 6. So I'll add that on, plus 1. Let's add it all together. We'll get the same number, but let's go through it. 36. That's a lot of enumerating, wasn't it? Let's see, 4, 10, 15, 20, 24, 27, 29, 30. 30, 36. I'm going to divide by 6. You get 5, 6. Same thing. What was easier? This was easier. You make your decisions, though. Thank you.